Welcome back, ladies and gents. That's right. It's a different voice this segment. You're hearing the Moose, and I'm here with my boy Duke. Johnny Boy had to ditch out, and I could only be here for the second half of the show. But welcome back. I'm excited to be back. Duke, how are you today, my good friend?
I'm good, man. Johnny, he had more important things to do than to be here at this moment. So he's just being a Hollywood guy on us, man. So screw him, man.
Well, he is our star, though. He is our star.
Hey, he ain't no star, Dave. Look, he just he rides our coattails, my friend. Okay.
Yeah, that's right.
I built that. I built his career, and I can destroy his career. That's what I did, man.
That's like some evil fucking Hollywood producer type shit.
Hey, man, they're all evil in Hollywood, aren't they? I've been there. Yeah, man. Have you been to Hollywood in LA, Moose?
My apologies. Had some mute issues. I have not been to Hollywood. I've been to Anaheim. I went to Disneyland on a family trip with my wife and her mom and dad. It was awesome. I've never been to Disney World. Everyone that I've ever known in Rhode Island has been to fucking Disney World. So it was really cool to go to Disneyland.
Disneyland is the original. So
yeah, and it's only 2 parks, so it's pretty easy. We tackled, both parks in like 4 days or something like that, and got to see a Ducks game and an Angels game out there. Yeah, Anaheim's gorgeous, but no, never been to Hollywood. I don't think I'll ever really want to go to LA, to be honest.
Nobody really wants to, man.
You know what I mean?
I leave, dude. It's hot, it's sticky, it's a desert. Everybody got their heads up their asses, dude. It's it's just it ain't for me, man. But Jonathan's still living there.
Have you been?
Oh, dude, all the time, yeah.
Oh, for real? I didn't know that.
I mean, I go down and visit Jonathan every now and then. I used to just drive from LA to Vegas on the trips. I'd fly into LA, Burbank, California, and then we drive to Vegas on that 3-hour trip, man.
Oh, it's only 3 hours from there?
Yeah.
I didn't even realize that.
Through Death Valley, man.
Is it just straight desert?
Oh, dude, it's awesome, man. It's crazy out there, man. Because
that must be a different drive than anything you've ever done in your life, though.
Oh yeah, man. Well, I've been across the country, so when I did that the first time, then I would say driving up from Vegas to Reno was really cool because you got to see the change in elevation along how the desert was changing into the mountains.
Really?
So it was really kind of neat to see that.
So is Reno in the mountains?
Yeah, Reno's up there near what's that fancy ski resort in California?
Not Big Sky. That's Montana. And I don't know in California. I don't know California too well, to be quite honest with you.
I forget. It's like
Lake. Is it Lake Tahoe?
Yeah, Lake Tahoe. That's it.
Is that what it is? That's the only place I know. All right.
Cool. That area, and it's like Reno is a few hours from that. So it's a beautiful state, man. Nevada is just it's beautiful.
You love Nevada, huh? You're gonna end up there someday.
I don't know, man. Actually, I've been looking, and I actually did this years with the heat, and Washington State has made me realize I don't want to do heat. So I'm looking at land down in Oregon, my friend.
In Oregon, good stuff, man. I got a buddy that lives down there.
Yeah, man. There's some cheap land down there, man. Just gotta find a place near a casino.
Yeah, Oregon is like our Maine for the West Coast. Well, I guess Washington too could be considered like a Maine. Like Maine to us is like the wilderness. It's like the wild. There's mountains, but they're not really mountains compared to out west, obviously. But yeah, Oregon's gorgeous. That's awesome.
Yeah. Washington's funny right now, man. Where I live, everybody's like, fuck Inslee. They're wearing masks and shirts that say fuck Inslee.
Nuh-uh.
Yeah.
God.
It's very not pro-Democrat in the working parts of Washington, which is quite funny because everybody thinks it's all liberals and, left-wing people up here, but no.
It's not. No, especially once you get past that east part of Snoqualmie Pass. It's all fucking ranchers out there and cowboys, man. I'll tell you what, too. First time I went to Seattle, which was October 2016 to visit my now wife. I was like, I'm from the East Coast, man. I grew up in a Catholic, household. So I wouldn't consider myself a liberal, and I definitely wouldn't consider myself a conservative either. But maybe more so fiscally, but socially, I have very left views. Anyways, I was expecting
the normal American then.
Yeah. I'm just so in the middle that it hurts, and it's not good for anybody that feels like me, which is probably most people, to be honest. But anyways, that's a different discussion for a different podcast. But the first thing, going there, I was like, oh, it's going to be nothing but Priuses. People are going to have bongs as hood ornaments. And I just didn't know like what it would be like, because it is predominantly a blue state. As soon as we leave the airport, I see this jacked up truck, mud all over it, barely getting cleaned off by the misty rain. And there was a big old Trump sign on the back. And I was like, oh, that's not at all what I expected. But once you get past Snoqualmie Pass, man, there's a ton of Trump supporters out there. But you got to think, too, like a lot of Washington, well, maybe not a lot, but the parts where's our, is it Maple Valley?
Oh, yeah.
It's like some of it's like white trashy, too.
Oh, dude, yeah, man, because
like Tacoma even, you know what I mean, sometimes. But I don't want to make assumptions, but I feel like there are a lot more Trump supporters out there than people think.
I don't think it's really just Trump supporters. I just think it's like, we only have a two-party system, which was flawed here, people. But it's crazy, too, because, like, the wealth difference, too, when you go from Seattle to...
Oh, it's wild.
It drops down predominantly. People think of, oh, look at Seattle. I mean, they're like one of the richest cities in the nation. But, yeah, they got, like, one of the worst homeless problems ever.
But then you go, the homeless problem. It's not even like something that you can get mad at. Like I can't. I feel more just horrible about. Dude, there are thousands of people in camp, tent cities and stuff. And as much as it is like people will be like, yeah, it's absolutely disgusting. Get the homeless out of here. Like to me, it's just sad because there's like needles on the ground and shit. Like it's bad. And
it's like I found out that. Oregon just pretty much bust all their homeless people and moved them up here. That's what they did. So,
really?
Yeah.
I thought California did the same thing to Portland.
No, I mean, California, dude, they got their own thing where it's like, the temperature is more moderate down there, so they got better for the homeless. But they bust them up here, man. Oregon looks like they're all friendly and everything, and they care, but no, they just got them all busted and sent them up here. That's why it's like really overcrowded.
I feel like we have talked about that before. I think wasn't there a movement in like 2016 or something where they just rounded them all up like cattle?
Yeah, dude.
That's just
out of sight, out of mind, dude. I mean, that's what I have beef.
Yeah, and that's sad.
That's why I have so much.
Shit makes me sad.
That's why I have so much beef with the leftists like that too. They're just like they hide this shit. It's like, come on, man. Like,
I mean, I think it's on both sides. You know what I mean? Like both sides are bullshitting their way through, but
they're all, dude. It's just all a game, dude. That's all it is. Especially the games, though, man. We got sports, though, man. The NHL is kicking ass, dude.
Yeah, they are, man. In the first official playoff game, for those of you that don't understand, this is the official playoff. Before that, it was the play-in to see who would play in the playoff. We now have 16 teams, and the NHL got it going last night with the first game starting at, I believe, 3:22 or something like that. In the afternoon, Columbus versus Tampa. Very highly touted series. This is a rematch from the first round last year where Columbus upset Tampa Bay for the 18th time Tampa Bay's been upset in the last 15 years.
Yeah, they got a part with choking there, don't they?
Yeah, they do. I mean, they have like half of the Ranger players from 3 years ago, and they're getting it done in the regular season. But anyway, so last night, we go to the first overtime, nothing. Second overtime, nothing. Third overtime, and Duke, at this point, these guys have played 2 full hockey games in one night. Now, you got to think, too, some of these guys don't eat right before games. Some eat plenty of hours before games. I've heard stories of guys eating pizza in the locker room, drinking like 4 Gatorades just to keep hydrated. And, I've always thought the NHL has a little Coke problem, but, whatever gets the boys going. And
everybody has a little
well, the smelling salts is like a dead giveaway though.
So yeah.
No, I love smelling salts. I've done them before. They're awesome. They get you going quick. You can breathe better. No, it's great.
They're supposed to wake you up too from a
straight. Right. Oh, they do, dude. The first one I did when I was like, oh damn, I like closed one eye. I was like, whoa. You have to let out a Ric Flair woo as soon as you do it, or it didn't work. But yeah, but besides all that, these guys are gotta, they gotta get food in them before this, in the middle of periods if they can. And they went to 5 overtimes and almost played 3 complete games. It was unbelievable to watch. At sometimes it was cringy because there were so many chances. And at one point, you could tell these guys just said, all right, somebody score a freaking goal. And, they definitely got a second wind, I'd say, after the second overtime. I think everyone was ready to end it, but it went to the 5th. Eunice Corpusalo, the goalie for Columbus, say that 5 times fast. Corpusalo. Yes, that's right. He had 85 saves. It is an official Stanley Cup playoff record. And if I do remember correctly, I think it is the record for regular season games too, but they only consider the Stanley Cup. 85 saves. The previous one was from 1987, I believe, and was only 75 saves, or 73 saves, excuse me. So that was real exciting, man. I'm really sad that guy didn't, they didn't bring the win home for him. But yeah, 1987, it was Kelly Hrudey with 75 saves. And then another record was broken. Seth Jones, a defenseman for the Columbus Blue Jackets, probably the only reason they're as good as they are, played 65 minutes of ice hockey. Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something real quick. I almost puked when I read that stat. I've played hockey since I was 3. I am in no way, shape, or form a professional athlete's stature, size, or strength. I'm actually pretty pudgy. Okay, so when I read that he played more than a complete hockey game within just over 2 hockey games, that's like 3 games of minutes for him. Like 21 minutes to 23 minutes per game is probably what his average is. So that man probably took one hell of an ice bath with his goaltender last night. Unfortunately, Tampa Bay pulled out with the win. It was a random shot on net by Braden Point. Dookie, I know you didn't play hockey growing up, but, most of my coaches said, put it on net, good things will happen. It wasn't even a pretty play, wasn't significant. There were many, many chances before that. He just whipped it at the net and it went in. So those types of things happen. But, man, is hockey getting it going? There's fights every game, man. And yeah, it's been fun. I've watched almost every single game. Don't tell my boss.
Yes, but that's great, man. It's good to see that them actually playoff hockey is the most exciting time of the year for nobody who watches it, because they don't do shootouts, man. It's all goes to overtime, and you have to earn those wins. It's not. I understand for the regular season because you just want to shorten it up. Shootouts
Right.
are amazing, but come playoff time, man, it's time to do it. And speaking of playoffs, man, it was some shenanigans, man. I mean, I'm not the biggest hockey fan here in the world, but man, dude, the Carolina Bruins game, man, Carolina got screwed, dude.
So they definitely got screwed from my point of view. So what happened was it was a crazy play where somebody hit the puck in the air while the puck was in the air with their hand, came down. Mrazek, the goalie for Carolina, had it covered up. I believe it was Charlie Coyle who bashed his glove while on the ice. For anybody that doesn't know that, when you put your glove over the puck as a goalie, it is a frozen puck, and the whistle should be blown almost immediately. This one was not. Now, I believe the ruling on the play was that they did not blow the whistle because they thought the Carolina defenseman was the one who hit the puck into the air to the goalie. From what I saw, that wasn't what happened. I don't even know if it was challengeable, to be honest. I was so mad. I was working and I was on the phone while it happened that I nearly lost a client. With that being said, I heard the ruling after, and Carolina still ended up with a penalty after the goal was continued. So I don't really know exactly what happened. I definitely have to look the ruling up again. But from my point of view, the referee determined that it was the Carolina player who hand passed it to the goalie, which apparently is a penalty I mean, this is the thing, Duke, right?
It don't look like it to me, man. I see a Bruins player hitting it down on the ice, which is illegal, correct?
So only if it's to his own player.
No, it looked
If
like
it,
he wasn't. It just looks like he just tries to knock it down. I mean, it wasn't in the defensive zone though. So
from yeah, from my point of view, it wasn't the defensive zone it was the Boston offensive zone. I just don't understand, and that's the thing too. Even if the Carolina defenseman did hand pass it to his goalie, right? My question is, if that goalie has that puck locked up, are the referees not going to blow the whistle? Are they just going to let him get bashed? Are they going to let his hand get broke by a stick? Like, I don't think so. Maybe I don't have the right understanding of how it was called, but honest to God, I don't understand any of it. I've never seen that happen in my life. If I had been, no wonder Rod Brindamore went off on the goalie, the coach of the Canes after. No wonder he went after the referee after the game, got fined 25 grand, not a big deal. It was hysterical because I just didn't understand. There was no clear definition of the play, and in the result in which it happened. And then on top of it, I mean, I know it was overtime. Oh, I'm sorry, not overtime, but I know it was in playoffs, they let a lot of penalties go. They let a lot of things go. They want the players to play and the result be the result. But I saw like 3 or 4 high sticks from the Bruins onto the Hurricanes that didn't get called. I also saw some calls from the Carolina perspective that should have been called too. But I mean, they swallowed their whistles during the play. And I was pretty upset. I hate the Bruins more than any team, and more than the Yankees, more than the Giants, more than any team. So to see them win like that was absolutely horrific. Even if Carolina did beat my team and sweep my team in the last, the qualifier play-in, I definitely don't want to see the Bruins win, but I'm having an idea that they will now that they won the first game.
I mean, what would have happened if he threw his whole body on the puck? I mean, you got to call it, dude.
I don't know.
He just like totally just took his stick and just like whacked his hand, which is dangerous, man. You can break the dude's hand doing that.
Yeah, I mean, it just didn't make sense to me. First off, I immediately texted my men's league goalie, and I was like, hey, just so you know, he's a Bruins fan. So I was like, hey, just so you know, 1, that was a fucking bullshit call. I don't understand it. But number 2, if anybody ever touches you like that on the ice, I'm dropping the mitts and I'm taking the suspension. Because I can't believe nobody didn't go after that guy. Dude, the number 1 rule my father and our coaches taught us as a kid was if someone touches the goalie, it's hands off, dude. That is, you don't mess with the goalie. That's like putting your hands on the quarterback. You know what I mean? You don't want that to happen. You absolutely don't want that to happen. So, as protected as goalies are, sometimes they're just left vulnerable. And I told my boy, I was like, I ain't gonna let that happen, dude. I may be the shortest and smallest guy in our team, but that ain't happening, son.
No, man. The unwritten rules of hockey there. But to me, man, yeah, they got screwed, dude. I saw 2 penalties right there. I understand one swallowed the whistle, but he had it covered. Like, there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it.
Yeah, they were just slow on the whistles, and that happens sometimes, but not when his entire glove is over it. If they can't see the puck, that's one thing that they don't blow the whistle right away. But, like, you could clearly see it went right into his glove on the ice. He put his glove flat on the ice over the puck. Half a second, maybe a second went by, and he was hit. So I just don't quite understand the ruling on it. I also don't understand the penalty after. Luckily for the Hurricanes, they did score on a breakaway on the penalty kill that next play. So, I guess that was the hockey gods with good karma coming back for the Hurricanes, so to speak, as some of my old hockey coaches would say. The hockey gods were certainly looking out for the Canes, but they didn't come through for the win. And it was an overtime win by the Bruins. It was the second overtime, actually. Crazy that there's been fucking almost 7 overtime periods in the first 2 days of the playoffs. That's wild. But that goal, they scored that goal in like a minute and a half. So it really wasn't even like an overtime. But
no, man, I just see a little shenanigans going on, a little favoritism for the Bruins. I mean, they did win the Stanley Cup last year. I think that was a little bit.
Blues won last year.
Oh, I'm sorry. The Blues did, but the Bruins won, the year before?
Yeah, no, 2011. But they were in it last year. They were in it last year. Yeah, that's why.
Yes, that's right. The Blues just came out from nowhere and actually dominated that. Yes,
they did. They did.
Which is we all loved. And because screw Boston sports. There we go.
Yeah, I know. And you know what too? Like, I don't. The Blues aren't even like a team I would hate. But yeah, I mean, we were talking about me and my buddy yesterday. Were talking about. By the way, thank you to the Carolina Hurricanes, my second favorite team of all time now, because you knocking us out got us the number one pick in the draft next year due to the lottery last night. Thank you very much. It'll be our first number one pick since 1967, I believe, is what I said earlier, Dookie. I forget.
Wow, 67. Huh?
It was either 65 or 67. So, a very long time ago. And, it's just an exciting time. The number one pick is an absolute generational Sidney Crosby type player. He's being compared to Sidney Crosby, Nathan McKinnon, and Connor McDavid. He won't be as good from the start. He's got some stuff to work on, but really, like, this kid he could propel us into the future, which is what we've been doing this past year anyways. Our team is so young and so good that I think we're going to have a bright next 5-6 years ahead of us. And Alexis Lafreniere is about to fucking shoot us to the moon.
He is Canadian, my friend.
He is French-Canadian, yep, from Quebec.
Quebec. So is he playing in the CHL right now?
The CHL, I think he's in the QMJHL, yeah. He's in the Q. He plays.
Is that minor?
Yeah. What's it? Yeah. So it's juniors. So it's like it's the same league as like the WHL. It's the Thunderbirds and the Silvertips.
Yes.
Everett Silvertips. Yeah. It's the same. It's the same exact league, but different, like just different conferences or different actual leagues with same level. It's junior hockey. They play with I think 16 to 19-year-olds or 21, maybe 21's the oldest you can be. I forget the exact age, but yeah, he's young. He's big. He's 6'1", 200 pounds, big dude. He's great with the puck. I watched him play in the World Junior Championships earlier this year, and he was just an absolute star. So I'm fucking excited. I couldn't stop laughing yesterday, Duke, for like a good 15 to 20 minutes. I was astounded that we won the lottery because nothing good ever happens to us. But there is some controversy. Everyone thinks it's exactly like Patrick Ewing.
Well,
they think it's rigged.
Well, I mean, they do love the big teams in New York, LA. These are the teams that, get publicity. So the Rangers haven't been good since the 90s, so.
Yeah. I mean, this team this year was probably the best team we've had since 94.
Yeah, and that says a lot right there. So
yeah, it's the best team of my lifetime easily, and we have the youngest team in the league, I'm pretty sure. So, yeah, bright futures ahead of the Rangers. Absolutely nobody wants to see us win because we are the only NHL team that I believe is in the top most expensive, or not most expensive, but we're worth, whatever it is in the top 10, which is like a couple $1 billion. And I don't think maybe Pittsburgh's up there, but other than that, I don't think any other team. But yeah, exciting times, man. Exciting times. I was ready to buy a jersey last night, but this is what I'm afraid of, Dookie. Now, you've been a fan of some pretty bad teams, some pretty bad Titans teams, right?
Yeah, I've seen man quit on the field.
Right.
Bad.
But before they even reach the field, there's the draft. And you've had some pretty fucking high picks. Corey Davis being one of them, right?
I mean, the highest pick we had was Mariota back in a few years ago. But he did, I don't care what people say, he did take our team to a winning season for 4 straight years. So
he did, and he did it under 4 different OCs. So I'm gonna always give him that.
I mean, people crap on him, but it's like he actually changed the culture here, which I think he'll do well in Las Vegas, man. With Coach Gruden, I think that his arm is healed up. Carr's upset, dude. Like, he's talking about how he gets no respect, all this other crap. It's like, yeah, dude, you've been on the hot seat for how many years now?
But here's the thing, though, Duke. I'll be honest, right? Because Drew Brees, his plus 20 yardage and all that, like his long throws, have obviously gone significantly down since the 2012 season, right? Like he's getting older, so it makes sense. But he was basically as good as Derek Carr was last year. Like, if you break down all of his stats, like, Drew Brees is always going to be that Hall of Famer. Derek Carr is not a Hall of Famer, in my book anyways, at all. So until Derek Carr has that real breakout season, and he had a chance with it with Antonio Brown, if Antonio Brown was a fucking idiot. Speaking of which, 8-game suspension whenever he comes back. I know the Seattle Seahawks are going to take him. But anyways, I digress. I just don't know. I don't know if Derek Carr has it in him. I don't think he's ever had a good team surrounded by him. I don't. He's got a really good running back now, and he has some receivers and tight ends, including the Walrus. So I think he should get it done. But we'll see, man. We might see Mariota sooner than we think.
I mean, Gruden loves Mariota. He loved him coming out of college. He was praising him from the very beginning. I think the Titans really did screw up Mariota with how we didn't design an offense around him. I think Gruden would do that.
I mean, but hear me out real quick. You didn't have the chance to because in 5 years he had 4 different offensive coordinators.
Yeah, and we
now, name one other team. Anybody that can comment below on any platform you find, comment below without looking it up on Google and think of one quarterback that's had 4 different offensive coordinators in 5 years. Because I guarantee you, unless it's a college kid, you can't come up with a name.
No, and we didn't give him no help for how many years. He
was doomed. He was doomed, and that's why I always used to give him shit because he was doomed, and I could do that.
He was shell-shocked. We hired Ken Wisenhunt for the first year, which was just an awful, awful hire.
And that was under Jeff Fisher, am I right?
No, this was long after Jeff Fisher.
Oh, it was? Okay. Who was the coach then? I don't even know. Was it
Ken Wisenhunt was the coach.
He was the head coach.
And then he got fired in the middle of the season after he put Mariota in the game after a leg injury. And so
that's right.
And then Milwaukee took over for a few years.
Oh, wait a minute. I remember talking to you about Milwaukee because how could you fucking get a coach with the last name Milwaukee?
Dude. Well, I mean, he came in. He was already on the staff. He came in. He already knew the team.
Is that what it was? Like a Freddie Kitchens deal?
Yeah, it was just more like that. And then, it just time was on the side. I mean, I love Vrabel. I just wish we brought him in earlier. John Robinson was hired when Monarchy was here. John Robinson's been a great GM. So it was just more mishandling of Mariota. I think he is a leader. People crap on him for, he's not vocal enough and everything. But it's like, dude, every teammate loves the guy. Like,
yeah, he's a good dude. He's funny, but he's never going to be like he's a similar player to Russell Wilson, but it's just never going to happen.
Oh, you never know, dude. I mean, this could be the second start that he needs, man. A first start with a new coach, man.
Could be.
When you get shell-shocked like he did take too many sacks. We didn't have an offensive line to protect him. We didn't have nobody to catch the damn ball. Corey Davis was supposed to be it. Corey Davis has been great for Derrick Henry blocking and everything, but if A.J. Brown had come out like a year before, I think things would be a lot different. Tannehill just came into a damn good situation,
Yeah, definitely did. He definitely stepped up, and I think at that point Mariota was probably just spent with the Titans, man. Like he spent his time there doing nothing but 9 and 7s, and it probably got old when he had to learn a different fucking playbook every single year.
Exactly, and then
maybe he'll do better in Las Vegas. Excuse me.
Yeah, no, is it crazy?
It's just Vegas too, right? It's just the Vegas Raiders.
I thought it was the Las Vegas Raiders.
Oh, it could be Las Vegas. Oh, I'm thinking of the Vegas Golden Knights. Okay.
I was watching YouTube the other day, and they did a stadium tour of the new stadium in Vegas. Man,
the Roomba Stadium.
It looks pretty insane, dude.
I'm sure it is, man. It's in Vegas. Come on. There's going to be casinos and restaurants up in there, man. It's going to be like a Patriot place.
Oh, dude, it's going to be the best place in the whole top. Dude, the skyboxes are sick, dude.
Are they?
They would this is top notch.
And not to be fruity, but until you've been to a game, right? That's like, those like mid-afternoon games where it starts to get dark. And like seeing a sunset through a football stadium, I know it's going to sound corny, man, but if you like sunsets, and no living human being hates sunsets, I don't think, unless they're allergic to the sun. Sunsets are gorgeous, and in a football stadium, it just hits different. You're in the middle of a game, and it hits different. But that's not an outdoor stadium, is it? It's indoor, retractable roof?
I believe it's a retractable roof.
It has to be, right? It has to be.
Let me look it up, but it looks insane inside. I think it is retractable. They said they wanted to make it look when you come inside, you want to feel like it's an outside stadium too. But,
Yeah, it's like all glass, right? It's all tinted glass on the outside. Yeah, it's gonna be awesome, man. And having something in Vegas like that is what they needed. And having a football team in Vegas too is just like it's a non-starter at this point. I mean, I think it's important to have a few teams in the Los Angeles and Bay Area, obviously as well. But we already have those. So, and nobody in LA, that isn't in Englewood wanted to be a Raiders fan. It's all Rams up there mostly. Unless it's like gang affiliation, but
well,
other than that,
Oakland. I mean, that's one of those stadiums that I would not have gone to see a game in. Like there's just a few places I understand where the fans run that place.
yeah.
Philadelphia would be one of them. I would be worried about going to Baltimore for sure. Oakland was definitely it. Jonathan talks about how he knows a few Raider fans. So they're like lawyers and everything, get all dressed up in their Raider gear, the spikes, the helmets, call themselves a black hole.
Yeah, they're like regular fucking dudes that are just absolutely wild.
And these are like rich people with like law degrees, doctors, and everything. And they're the ones that are dressed up. And he says, like, Jonathan said that a guy told him that his girlfriend just got like taken away or something, like carried away by some Raider fans, and they go find her. Like it was nuts, dude. It's like, damn, dude. But I think it's gonna be safer.
Yo, if that happened, I'd start wailing, man.
Dude, oh, dude.
Because Patriots games, there's obviously your drunkards that are just like slumped in the chair by the fourth quarter, which I understand, man. First beer, I get it. But I mean, at the last game we went to, there was somebody like slumped, and it was just gross. Like, don't be that guy. But honestly, most Patriots games are pretty respectful. We don't have too wild of a crowd. I'd say it's a pumped up crowd about football, but like the Raiders are a different story. And the black hole, those guys are going to make that trip most of that time if they can.
It's only 3 hours away. Yeah, they probably got the season tickets ready. Probably most of them love it, dude, because like you're going to go to Vegas every like for 8 weekends out of the year now. I mean, when 2021 starts, because they're not the Raiders are not allowing fans inside the stadium this year. But
I think that's a good idea, though. I think that's the right idea for them. I think they can market it well. If you've been watching the NHL, they have the big screens everywhere. Last night during the fifth OT, I'm sorry, the fourth overtime, they had something that said, stand up for your 7th period stretch, which is like funny shit, So I think they can work around that, and cover the seats, and make it look good, but. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna have to see a game in that stadium someday.
I'm
because
because
too, Duke, that like if you're building a new stadium, especially in a place like Vegas, they're gonna go over the top with everything. It's gonna look fantastic. It's gonna be fantastic. The systems there and the technology, I bet, is gonna be unreal, man. The things you're gonna be able to do in that stadium, interactive shit, stuff like that, like. That's what people don't think about. You know what I mean? Like someday these stadiums, I know in Seattle, they're working on like, complete contactless, and it doesn't have to do with COVID, but like where you can pay at a self-checkout, like for beer. Like if I could do that, it would make my life so much easier. So anything to make the experience more fluid and easy for the customer will get people to go there. And I think Vegas is going to go over the top with it.
Oh yeah, dude. And also, too, the way they designed the stadium looks just eloquent. I can say with right there next to the strip. It looks absolutely just amazing, man.
How close to the strip is it? Is it like on the strip pretty much?
It's very close to the strip. It's probably like I mean, you can see the strip from the stadium, so you can see the stadium from the strip.
Can you walk to the strip or walk from the strip to a game, stuff like that? Because there's going to be like a couple of bars out in Vegas that are like complete Raider bars before the game.
Well, oh yeah, dude. When I went out there last, MGM was already selling Raiders gear.
Were they really?
Yeah, I mean they were.
When did you go last? Wasn't that like a year or two ago?
Last October, I believe. I went to go see my parents.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, my dad was doing business out there, and so I hadn't seen them in a while. So they said, "Why don't you come down to Vegas and spend a weekend?" So I got to, and it was fun, man. The stadium looks absolutely eloquent, dude. I mean, I
I
can't.
mean, it looks like a Roomba, like
Yeah,
the self vacuuming things that circle the floors on the outside, but I bet the inside's just unreal.
it looks. It blends in well, though. Like they didn't try to go overboard with it. They really were conscious of the skyline in Vegas. I mean, the NHL stadium. I forget what it's called, but it's like right there next to New York, New York.
Oh, is it?
You can actually they actually have a package to where if you buy tickets if you buy a hotel room, they can offer you tickets for the Golden Knights too, and it's just like within walking
No shit.
distance. Yeah, it's awesome. But yeah, the Raiders, I look forward to. I think Vegas is going to be a great place, and I look forward to seeing a game in 2021, especially to I mean, hopefully the Titans, I believe, are playing the AFC West again, maybe into 2021. So I'm hoping that we get a away game then. I go see them, or at least go see the Chiefs and Raiders. That'd be fun.
Right, that'd be awesome. But no, I'm looking at the first look now. The pictures of the first look, and outside the stadium, you're right, it is conscious of the skyline, but I'd say that it's huge, like it's massive.
Oh,
The
it's
stadium
massive.
is
Yeah.
it's fucking like the size of like 8 of the biggest casinos on the strip right there. But no, it's not too bad. Yeah, it looks nice. I mean, I think it's going to be elegant as hell. And you're right, the outside look. So there's definitely clear windows in a lot of places. There's also the entire roof is clear windows. So I don't know if it's retractable, Duke, but if it's not, it might as well be outside. There's just some
It look,
window panes there, but
yeah, it could. It looks though. Yeah, it may not be retractable, but it's clear on top.
I
So,
mean, the sizes of the screens are massive. Yeah, the whole thing is crazy big. So that'll be awesome. It'll be cool to see a game there someday.
oh yeah, man, I'll be on the bucket list too, man. So, if you ever make it to Vegas, man, we're gonna have some fun, dude. You know,
Yeah, just fun. No trouble. Just fun.
it's fun, dude. It's all fun in Vegas, man. Just rules you don't do. Just don't piss off the locals. Be respectful. Don't be the drunk a-hole that thinks you can do anything in Vegas, which they could in Vegas thinking prostitution is legal. It's not, people. There's nowhere except prostitution is legal, except in one county in Nevada, and it takes like an hour and a half to get there from Vegas. So
It's probably not worth it.
if you're that desperate, I understand, but do not go to Vegas thinking that and the little cards they hand out are not real cards, okay, people? Like they're like, oh, get escorts tonight. No, people, you will get robbed, okay? You will get you stolen and probably thrown into a dumpster because
Oh my God.
you just don't play, man. I mean, the strip is shady, man. I remember walking at 3 a.m. and seeing like little kids out with parents on the strip.
Nuh-uh.
And I'm like, dude, that's just too much, man. That's too much, man. But college football. UNLV is supposed to be sharing the stadium with the Raiders.
Wow, the football squad?
Yeah, but they're not this year because as we know, the Mountain
Yeah.
West is canceled, along with the Pac-12 and the Big Ten, right?
The Big Ten, I was surprised by, to be honest. I think it lies along where the Big Ten is geographically. I think if the Big Ten was in the South, they would not be quitting on the season. The SEC, the ACC, and the Big 12 will be playing. But as far as that, Duke, I don't think there's another. Obviously a Power 5, but there's not another important conference playing. I mean, the Pac-12 and the Big Ten were the two that I was most surprised by. I know Justin Fields is going to be upset. He really wanted to play. Trevor Lawrence has been a big proponent of playing. You just don't know how these situations go, man. And it's obviously upsetting that I won't get to see the Blue play. But it is what it is, man. I don't know what the right way to go about this is. Like, is it more safe if they play, or is it less safe? I don't know, because a lot of these guys come from towns and cities that are, a lot of these guys don't come from great situations. This is their great situation. It's being at school and playing. But I just don't know at what level having them play as non-paid laborers in the middle of pandemic goes. I don't know what the right course of action is. I can't really make a decision. I think it's just whatever's whatever. But the thing for me, Duke, and let me ask you this because I don't think you're going to have an answer for me. Who's in charge of all this? It's not the NCAA.
Each conference has their own presidents and council, and so they actually are, I think, kind of like more powerful than NCAA.
Possibly, but I don't even think it's the presidents and these guys from schools. I think, Duke, what it is they all have separate doctors. They all have separate doctors working on these on a plan, and they also have lawyers. I think it comes down to the lawyers, whether or not the lawyers think they'll be liable or not. I think it's going to determine whether they play. I don't think it's so much whether they're going to be safe or not. None of us are really safe. You know what I mean? Like, no matter where you are, you're not necessarily safe during all this. Do I think hopping on sweaty dudes for 60 minutes straight is the right answer? Probably not. But guess what? I'm not in charge of all that shit, but I think it's the lawyers and I think it's the doctors.
Too, yeah, but I mean, I don't know. It's like I said, they talking about spring football, but that don't make no sense because then it's like, well, if you play in the spring, then does that mean that you're going to take off during the fall, or go ahead and have 2 seasons within a year, which is just ridiculous.
Right. And then the guys that have to opt out for the draft, which is in April, right? That's in April, right?
Yeah, correct.
Yeah, end of April.
Right.
So like these guys play. So a lot of these guys just won't play, is what it's going to be. Like you can't tell me that these guys that are going into their senior years or going into the draft are going to play. Justin Fields ain't going to play. Trevor Lawrence for sure is not going to play. He was considering taking this year off anyways just to train for the NFL because everyone knows he's that good.
I mean, the schools are just going to have to, like, if they're going to play spring football, they're going to have to put a flyer up at the student center for recruitments. Hey, would you like to play football this year? Here's your chance. Walk on.
Right. Just getting mercenaries to kill each other on the field, basically.
I mean, hey, did you play recreational football this year? Hey, we could use you. Come walk on, man. I mean, like, I just don't see how spring football can happen. I mean, I don't understand how, like, because, like you said, all the big stars, they're not going to play because they got to get ready for the NFL. NFL, once you get drafted in the May, I mean, training camp supposedly starts in June, July. You're ready to go, man. You can't just be coming off of a season. I mean, that's just not going to happen. So I just think if you're going to cancel, just cancel it to next year. I hate to say that, but because I love college football. I love watching Appalachian State, Boise State, all those little schools.
Hell yeah, Southern Georgia.
Yeah, man. Just other great schools like that. So it's just going to be sad, but I don't understand how they're going to try to do spring football. That's just unrealistic because then you're going to play fall football again, and then that make no sense because, like, if you play spring, then you take a year off, then everybody's off schedule again, Nobody's all lined up to play.
Yeah, I don't see how it's going to work. Now, if you're asking me as a fan of college football, would I want to watch spring football? Hell yes. Hell yes. Throw that shit on, man. If I have football on Saturdays in the spring, Papa gonna have a good 2021. I can guarantee you that. But I don't think it's going to happen. I don't think they'll come to an agreement, and I sure as hell don't think the players are going to come to an agreement. But the thing that worries me about these kids not coming to agreement to play is that are they going to lose their scholarships? Are they going to lose their spots on the teams? Because there's no way to guarantee them their spots. The NCAA is not going to do that, and I know schools because they're scumbags and conferences because they're scumbags that they don't pay these kids. They're not going to. They're not going to cancel it.
They don't pay them because it's still under the NCAA, man. If they all just branched off and made football as like the controlling commission for like power conferences, then yeah. But I mean, like you said, these kids, like, they're not even that's one thing people understand. It's like you can get your scholarship taken away the next year. It's not guaranteed.
If you get injured, you
not
get
even that. Away. If you don't even play well, and they consider you, he's not living up to his potential, your scholarship is not guaranteed for 4 years People don't understand that. It can be taken away like that. I think that's why a lot of guys just say, well, I'm going to get here for 2 years and get to the NFL, man. Because, like, I'm not why stick around if, I get injured, I lose my job, man. No, screw that. That's one thing is, like, it irks me, man. It's not guaranteed. I think they should guarantee it for 4 years. Like, hey, we're going to guarantee the scholarship for 4 years, but they don't because, like you said, they're scumbags.
Right.
So,
right. And I will say this, that some coaches and some organizations do uphold scholarships when people get hurt. It's happened before. I don't know if you know the kid, J.D. Johnson, who was a University of Michigan commit, go Blue. He played under Spencer Radler at Pinnacle High School in Phoenix. And both, Spencer Radler is going to be an unbelievable player for Oklahoma this year. He's the quarterback. He's nasty. The kid J.D. Johnson was under him, ended up getting a lot of Power 5 looks, even as a backup, and he committed to University of Michigan. They figured out he had a significant heart problem, something about an enlarged aorta or something of that matter, and the doctor basically said, if you play a contact sport again, you're going to rupture your heart. You're going to have a heart attack, and you're going to die. Imagine an 18, 19-year-old kid having to call his new coach that he hasn't even played for yet, in John Harbaugh, saying, well, coach, I can't ever play again. What happens now? And Harbaugh said immediately, we're going to uphold your scholarship. You're going to come here for 4 years, and you're going to be a coaching assistant. Boom. Great. That's fantastic. But that doesn't happen in every case. And I think, social media and the awareness of it now obviously helps the fact that a lot of these kids do get scholarships back. But there's even a kid that played for Wazoo, Washington State University, last year, and he had an alleged rape case. The alleged victim ended up saying that she lied about it all because she was mad at him, and he lost his scholarship. He lost everything. He's back at home right now, and they're not going to give him that scholarship back. So things like that to think about, man. It happens a lot in college, man. These kids are kids a lot of the times. They're 18 to 22 years old. They make mistakes. Past the age of 21, it's probably a little bit easier to, not get in trouble, but it's also harder because you're of drinking age, and all college kids like to drink. But let's hope that doesn't happen to anybody that opts out. These freshmen and sophomores, they can't be opting out. These guys with NFL dreams and, just aren't on the edge yet, that are going into their senior year, they want to play because otherwise they're screwed. So, I mean, it's kind of a catch-22. I guess you just let the players do what they want to do.
Oh, sorry about that. Yeah, man. I mean, it's ridiculous, dude. Actually, I was thinking about this the other day too. What happened to the Washington scandal, man? We didn't hear much more about that after the whole.
Oh, that shit disappeared. I don't understand. Nobody's gotten fired yet. Nobody's gotten arrested yet. Nothing. And you know what I saw? The Jets owner said something about how he's thought of people differently because of religion, sexual orientation, and something else, gender probably. I can't remember, but if I had to put my money on anything, it'd be gender after those two. So I read about that yesterday. No news about it today. So I don't know if it's just an iffy subject and everyone's staying away from it because of all the, the child sex trafficking allegations going on. But
and they actually Dan Snyder is actually suing the people who complain against him.
No, he's not.
Yeah. He said that, this is like wrong. I can't do this. Like, come on, dude. Like, you guys, I mean, it was some wild accusations, man. Wild. Like kidnapping people, taking their passports away in foreign countries. And all this has got like a fart in the wind, man. Like now they're talking about.
Yeah, we were talking about it like 2 or 3 weeks ago. It was serious. Like this guy saying he's going to grab somebody's ass. Like, that's fucked up. You can't. One, you are not supposed to do that. That is wrong when there is right and wrong. Two, it's fucking dumb to even like say something like that to somebody. And three, to think you're gonna get away with it is just unbelievable. I just don't. Yeah, I don't know what's happening with these guys, but I hope Dan Snyder, honestly, I don't know if I hope he dies. But like, I'm
Don't say
pretty
that,
close
dude.
to it. Like, no,
That's the social justice stuff, man. You never want to wish death on anybody, dude. That's
yeah, but dude, he is a horrible, horrible man.
there's horrible, horrible people everywhere, but you can't wish death on them because karma will get them eventually, man.
All right, well, child sex traffickers, I wish death upon.
Oh yeah,
I'm
dude.
not
Yeah,
backing
absolutely.
down. I was like, I'm not
But we
backing down
can't
on that
prove
one.
that. Okay, we can't.
Right.
say
A
that.
30-cent bullet's a lot cheaper than life in prison. Just saying. Anyways,
But yeah, man, they're all just saying, "Oh, look at the new helmets," which just look as generic as possible.
oh wait, time out. You don't like that new helmets? I love that old school look. I think if any team, there's two teams that could pull off that old school look, and they both wear a brown/maroon. It's the Browns. The Browns would look sick if they had numbers on their helmets. They would look sick. And then the Redskins is the only other team I can think of. For some reason, I don't think any other team could look good doing that. But I love the idea of them keeping numbers on their helmets. I love it.
And then
It's so old school, man. I love that.
Distracting you, man, with the new jerseys, which all they did was replace Redskins with Washington on it. I mean, like, wow, that was just so much of a jersey change. And
it's like the first time Boston put the Red Sox on a jersey, and we were all like, "Woo!"
yeah, look at the shiny object, man.
Yeah, right.
So
Only ours wasn't racist, but other than that,
yeah, well, everything is nowadays because everybody wants to call each other racist when things are just out of control. So people, remember, think before you speak, because it will be put on social media, and you will be scrutinized, and the social justice warriors will come out.
Shit. Listen, I'm the first one to admit I have said stupid shit online. Very stupid stuff. Have I deleted most of it? Yes, because I was a dumb kid. I was like fucking 16 or like 15, and I said stupid shit because I lived in a bubble. Well, you grow up real fast. 10 years later, you realize in today's day and age, you cannot say things that we used to say.
Yeah,
I'd go down a list, but then I would have half of Twitter attacking me, which I don't want. But yeah, people have opinions all the time. People's opinions are bullshit, and that's just what it is, man. Just be careful what you say, man.
We live in a world where people love to shame people, man, and everything's taken out of context. And no matter what, you just can't win, man. No matter what. So it's just like kind of like the South Park thing of, yeah, I'm staying away from this one. And so oh, my bad. What? Oh, never mind. But like I said, man, that's just the time we live in now. Everybody is a good platform, but dumbasses have taken it over. Because nowadays, I just use Twitter for breaking news.
Yeah, it is the quickest news. I don't know. People like old people always like, you get your news off of Twitter. And I'm like, yeah, because news is literally direct. It's not, they don't talk like they do on the TV. It is direct. It is direct.
I always trust like Adam Schefter, the main guys, the ones who are the insiders, the ones that are actually.
Insiders only for sure. Yeah. In the NHL, NBA, Woj, Chef, even Ian Rappaport. I like all those guys. But even with like world news and like world conflict news, I follow a bunch of like foreign Twitter pages about like the UK and North Korea and stuff like that, just because it's immediate, direct, and it's not all the foofy bullshit that they speak about on TV most of the time, to be honest.
Well, like people, it's like like this podcasting thing, right? People used to make fun of it saying, oh, I remember, oh yeah, you're just having a radio show. It's like, no, this is the future, because people are just tired of people are like, I mean, I get tired of seeing ESPN all the time and Skip Bayless and Shannon Sharp argue. It's like everything Shannon Sharp says, it is racist. It's like it just gets old, man. It gets old real fast. It's just like they're just talking heads. And they don't cover every team. We know this. Like they just want to cover the big teams and say that these are the only teams that matter. But at Thunder Whiskey, we represent all fans. Like we don't pick and choose and say, oh well, this team but they're never going to be good. It's like all these people now saying that, oh, the Titans, yeah, they're going to take a step back. It's like just shut up. You don't know. Like
I mean, nobody talks about the Titans but us, really.
Yeah, I mean,
honestly, like, yeah, there's podcasts. I mean, there's like 8 million podcasts out there now and fucking 50% of them are based on football. So our niche isn't too good. If we talked about quiches and cooking delicious pastry, that'd be different. But
we're not analysts. We're just fans, man. We just want to bring authentic personalities to the table, which I believe we do at the Ricky Williams. Because you know what, man, we don't claim to know everything. We're just bringing the fans' perspective, which I think a lot of times the major networks just don't want. They're like acting like these old guys, like they don't want to adapt. And it's like, hey, man, now everybody's got a podcast, like all this and that, man.
I know people that were bullshitting with me back in the day, like, you're doing a podcast. They like have podcasts now about like music, and I'm like, dude, you're talking shit. Now you're like all excited because you got something going. Yeah. Anyways, I don't like to hate, man. Good luck with everyone's stuff.
Yeah, but. Like, we're just offering something different for people, man. And I think that's just going to be the way it is, because everybody gets tired of seeing like, dude, sometimes they just say like clickbait hot takes just to get people to look. Skip Bayless does it. He's made an entire career saying crazy.
Dude, Max, Stephen A., they all do that. Max Kellerman's the worst of all time at it, and Skip Bayless is right there with him.
And the thing that kills me with Stephen A. Smith is like, dude, you are so talented to where you can create your own entire network and bring your own people in and just create something new and totally different. But yeah, he
could, and maybe he will someday. But dude, you gotta admit, man, if anybody's comfortable in this world of sports broadcasting and commenting, it's Stephen A. Smith. His followers are to the bone, man. You know what I mean? They're to the bone. So
I'm just saying though, man,
he'll own ESPN someday. Yeah, if he buys Disney World, if he buys Walt Disney.
And big news though, Deion Sanders, he left, who hates Kevin Byard because he called him a fan on Twitter, which I still read him to this day. So Deion, you don't have no job, which means you're just a fan now, buddy.
No, he does have a job.
Oh yeah, with Barstool. I forgot.
With Barstool, dude, to the fucking moon. Barstool coming out hot. I don't know how well that's going to work out, because you remember their last big personality that they had was Michael Rappaport, and that ended horribly for all parties involved. So I don't know. Is he going to have a podcast? I'm sure he's going to be at HQ doing stuff, but he's more than half. He's like double the age of half of the people working for Barstool. I know they have some older people. They do Brandon Walker and some others, but he's way older than half of these kids. So we'll see what happens, man. But what an interesting thing from Deion Sanders. I did not see him going to Barstool Sports at all. They must have offered him a shite ton of money.
Oh yeah, they offered him. They had to pay him.
Like $2 to $5 million per year. Like
something, man.
It has to be crazy, dude.
Some kind of ownership in the company. Good for Barstool. Busting with the Boys just got picked up by them a while ago.
That's right.
Taylor Warren, his show with Compton, which is a great show because they give a player's perspective without being uncensored, and I think that's what people want, but yeah, like I said,
that's why people love and hate Taylor Lewan.
Oh, dude, Taylor Lewan, dude, he's just,
what I mean, though, he just says what he wants to say.
Yeah, he's done some stupid stuff in the day, but we all have done stupid stuff, and we all have to apologize and say, whatever, but
yeah, that happens. Everyone says stupid shit, but in context, but yeah,
in context. He went to before he was drafted, he went to trial for it, and I think some of the.
Whoa, he went to trial for what?
Oh, he said something. Like he said a comment to a lady who was accusing another player of rape, which was
oh no.
And so he had to pay for his sins for that. But, like I said, he has grown up like everybody else does. So I can't hate. He's been a respectable community guy. So, you can't.
Yeah, he's just wild. He's just a wild dude. Yeah.
He's like, he loves him out. He's an offensive lineman, man.
Yeah, he's no quarterback. That's for sure.
You want him. You want that guy to go to war with you, basically.
Yeah, you want him to be a dog. He's a dog, man.
Yeah, he's your goon, man. He's a guy that's going to get up in people's faces. We remember a few years ago with the
When Mariota got hit out of
Yeah.
bounds by Richard Sherman. I knew you were going to tell me about that. I
the
love
first
that.
person there, man, was Taylor Lewan up in Sherman's grill. Dude.
I've never seen a O-lineman run so fast. Honest to God, to this day, I've never, even while he's playing, I've never seen him run so hard.
I know. It's like, so all these people now, all these analysts are saying, oh, the Titans will be 9-7. Oh, and then somehow some analysts said that the Texans are going to be better without DeAndre Hopkins. Will Fuller said, I think, oh, well, it just gives us more opportunity. Yeah, dude. If you had opportunity, you would have thrown the ball to you a lot sooner than DeAndre Hopkins.
Right. Well, Will Fuller is a fucking breakout wideout, dude. He's like, he just streams down the field, and he's so tall and so fast. He catches the ball. But now they have Brandon Cooks. So, like, does it give you that much more opportunity? Because Brandon Cooks is the same player. He's not an Emmanuel Sanders, Edelman type of slot receiver. We'll see. We'll see. I still think the Texans are going to be good. I still think they'll be good.
They're always going to be good with Deshaun Watson. And, like, my thing with them is, like, he throws his body out there too much.
He never gets protected. His protection is shit. That's why they're hoping Laramie Tunsil finally, plays this year.
Yeah, I mean, like, Laramie Tunsil.
Since they just gave him a ton of money.
Oh, yeah.
Sure.
Oh, yeah. Well, we just gave, speaking of giving money to people, the Titans may have screwed this one up. Vic Beasley.
Oh, no.
He decided, apparently there was a lot of shenanigans going on. They apparently had a death in the family during a training camp. He didn't report, but I think that if you had a death, then it would be excused. Like, you call your bosses to say, hey, this is what's going on, but there's no communication. Apparently, he failed his physical, and so he is put on the non-football injury list, which makes me wonder, he just showed up out of shape, dude. Like, come on, dude. Like, I mean,
I think the guy was just done since the 2017 Super Bowl run. I don't think he's had a healthy season since 2016, 2017, really. And past 2016, nothing.
He's had Falcon fans have said that he's had a bad attitude. He doesn't want to be a team player. He only shows up when he wants to show up. Basically, he just in it for the money. So I'm hoping that's not the case, but, like, that's kind of a bad sign for the locker room. We got a close-knit type of defense and a team that believes in each other. So hopefully he ain't going to be no cancer. But, I mean,
he was a bad signing. He was a bad signing. Straight up. He had, like, 2 pressures the year of 2017, 0 sacks, and I think in 2017, I think half his sacks were, like, by an unblocked right tackle or someone else created pressure for him. So, I just don't think I don't think it was a good signing. And I forget how much you guys are paying him, but I'm pretty sure it's a good amount of change.
1-year deal, $9.5 million, but
9.5?
There's stipulations on that too. So if you don't play, then we don't pay him. I mean, he's got to get in shape. So, I mean, it's like, well, you should have been in shape already because it's training camp, dude. I mean, you hire –
like, you were indoors for the last 5 months, bro.
I mean, I've seen Derrick Henry be working out. I see Bayard. I see all these other guys putting videos of, like, working out with personal trainers, which I know that they can afford. So, like, I mean, there's a responsibility there to say that I mean, this ain't like the old days of football when they had training camp because the guys had part-time jobs the rest of the year.
Right,
now,
right.
Like, they use
camp,
they use training camp to get the guys into shape, get them football ready, and that's just not the case anymore. I mean, I've seen Derrick Henry from right after the playoffs, dude, just keep working out. I mean, the guy, like, these guys, like, want to work out. It's just like, dude, you don't show up. And you're coming to a new team, like a team that can win.
I mean, I understand he had what I presume is a pretty serious death in the family, but
we don't even know if that's true, though.
Yeah, but even then, wouldn't that make you just work harder? In my opinion, I don't know. I could be wrong. I know it's devastating to lose people. I completely understand. I'm not trying to be insensitive, but, like, he had every opportunity to come into this defense and run it. He could, but he's not going to.
He's not going to. I mean, we got Landry. We got a lot of guys to come in.
You still have Cameron Wake?
No. Unfortunately, he went on. He
That's
had
right.
2 injuries.
Well, he didn't do much last year anyways. Yeah, so you're fine.
He got his 100th sack on a safety, which is awesome for the Cleveland.
Right. Yeah. I mean, you guys still got Rashad Evans. I love him.
Dude.
So I
Rashawn
love
Evans,
him.
Landry.
He may not be like the best linebacker in the league by any means, but I love watching Rashad Evans play. His vision is great.
Actually, I would say he's probably top 5, dude.
Yeah, and if not top 10 for sure.
I mean, but like I said, like I don't want to, throw salt at people, but our other co-host Jonathan, who claims to watch the games, really don't. I know he doesn't. He claims he does. I know he doesn't because he loves to give my team crap because he's got one chip. So now he thinks he's the Patriots. I mean, we're praising Mahomes, and who knows, Mahomes could take a back seat, man. People do get figured out. I mean, Lamar Jackson's going to have a tough year this year because now teams have got the blueprint on him. So I mean, it's going to.
I mean that's true. Lamar Jackson is just out of this world, though.
But people do get figured out, my friend. That's the thing that made Brady so great. He adapted. He changed.
That's fair.
Did everything he had to do. Watson, great player, just wrong coach, man. I don't understand how Bill O'Brien still has a job after that Super Bowl loss. I would have fired his ass after that playoff loss. You're up by 21 and you can't finish it. Like, you're up to 21 points. All you have to do is just run the clock out, man. Maybe get a couple more field goals, and it's done. And you couldn't do it. Like, that was just unbelievable, man.
Unreal, dude.
Unreal, dude.
Unreal.
And the coaching, I think that's going to be Deshaun Watson's thing. The Colts, I don't think Old Man Rivers is going to do it. They're hoping he can. I just don't see him succeeding with the Colts. And, of course, the Jags, they're going to suck. But now everybody's picking the Bills to win the division, man. I'm
not surprised, man. Their defense is stout. Their offense is good. They got Stephon Diggs. Yeah, no, they have. I said this. I think they're going to win the AFC East. Now, with that being said, now I said that I believe before we lost half of our fucking starting defense. So I'm not quite sure what's going to happen, but yeah, they have an opportunity for sure. We'll see what Cam Newton does. I think it's going to be great. I always have hope in my team, man. Bill Belichick gets it done. Next man up is our saying.
I know the Bills are like all hyped and everything. It's just that, dude, like, when have they had, how many consecutive winning seasons have they had? Are they ingrained to know what it takes to win it week in, week out? I mean,
I don't know if there was a Bills team that knows it in the last 20 years, it's this year's team, though.
I mean, yeah, but I'm just saying,
that's all the credit I'm going to give them. Now, I do think it's going to be a battle for first place between us and them. It's not going to be a pretty one. It's going to be an 8-8, 9-7, 10-6, maybe type of battle, but it'll be a battle.
I know it's going to be like 9-7 may win the division. So I just don't mean the Dolphins. Who knows with them? Of course, we know about the Jets.
No, their fucking wide receivers are gone, and they have Tua as their quarterback. They're in trouble.
Well, Fitzpatrick down there, though, he's he came out and said he was a placeholder for Tua, which is cool. I mean, we understand, but I don't see the Jets doing anything. But I'm sorry, man, but I just can't give up on Belichick that fast.
No, not yet. Not yet.
It's like Bills, you can come in and everything, but man, dude, like Belichick, he can get some scrub players out there and make them perform, and that's the thing. It's like,
and we have an MVP quarterback right now, a former MVP. Like, he's going to be fine, and he looks good. I saw him in practice today. He looks good. Yeah,
I mean, it's just like everybody's like, oh, we're jumping on the Bills bandwagon, Look how – it's like, dude, they haven't really done much of anything. Like, they haven't won a playoff game.
Now, what I'm excited to see real quick, because I do have to get going soon, but what I'm excited to see is when Josh Allen's game goes to fucking shit. I'm excited to see Jake Fromm get in there for the Bills because I think Jake Fromm is going to be way better than where he was drafted. I've said it for years. I was hoping the Patriots picked him up. He's a little small for Bill and all that, but no, I think he's going to be good.
I mean, yeah. I mean, we play the Bills on October 11th, and I think
in Buffalo.
Oh no, at Tennessee.
Oh, so you guys will win that. They don't know warm weather, man.
And with global warming in October, it should be kind of warm out there for them. So
that's fair.
But, like I said, I just don't see it. I mean, that's what I love about this whole offseason because we never know. All these analysts, they have been – I remember what was like last year or something. Adam – I forget the dude Wanker's name. Adam Rank for the NFL Network said we're going to win 2 games. That was it. Like, it's just no matter what we do, we're always going to get crapped on. That's totally fine. I love that underdog role. I mean,
That's just what it is, man.
that's just what it is, man. Until we don't matter who we beat, no matter what we do, we can do it, man. But on that note, man, a sad note, one more note. Howard Mudd, he passed away. Dude was riding a motorcycle at 78 years old. That's hardcore, dude. Like, I mean,
I'll tell you what, man. I can't ever own a motorcycle because my girl's cousin broke his back, his knees, his legs in one crash. So I'm never gonna own a motorcycle. But
oh, dude,
man, I'm sure that's rough on the family and rough on the Colts organization.
I mean, he was 78, dude.
Riding a motorcycle, yeah.
I mean, that's hardcore.
Badass man. I mean, he was an O-line coach, so like he was a badass man, anyways. But
yes, he was O-line coach for many years, from '98 to 2000.
He protected Peyton Manning for those many years. So
he coached Jeff Saturday, which was Peyton's center. So condolences to his family about that. I'm sure even though I hate the Colts with a passion, the fans are wankers. They booed Andrew Luck, and you should not get another good quarterback for another 20 years because of that. So yeah, sorry, Colt fans, but you guys are just not that good. You guys play indoors. You had Peyton Manning. You guys still living off that Peyton Manning. Peyton Manning should have won more than one Super Bowl.
But he couldn't because of Tom Brady and Bill Belichick.
Oh, dude, those games back in the day were classic when the Patriots would meet the Colts in the playoffs. And what would happen? Oh, yeah.
Every time.
Even when the Colts had home field advantage, they couldn't get it done. So, but, football is coming back. Like I said,
September 10th, kickoff, Chiefs, Texans. What a game to kick it off.
Some stadiums right now, the Titans, Ravens, and a couple other are hoping for fans at like only 7,000 fans or something like that, but I don't see that happening. I think that everybody's just going to be like, we're just going to play in front of an empty crowd this year.
Yeah, I think that's what they should do. But as long as we see football, man.
Hey, man, I mean, I don't care if it's on a practice field or whatever, dude. Training camp has started.
It could be on the goddamn Field of Dreams football version. I wouldn't care.
Also, too, Ben, one day before we leave, Hard Knocks started last night.
I missed it.
It's the LA edition, so they're doing the Rams and the Chargers. So.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay, that's interesting.
Yeah, so they're doing 2 teams in LA to do one team, owns LA. The other team is just visiting. They show the new stadium. The new stadium looks sick too.
Yeah, I'm sure it does.
It looks like a ram, so I don't see how. It kind of looks like a Rams logo from the top of it. So I just.
Oh, no, it is. That's how it was built. Yeah.
I really just don't see the Chargers doing anything, man. I mean, you're playing. It's like the Jets playing.
They're gonna move again. They're gonna move again for sure.
Dude. They played at. It's like the MetLife Stadium with the Jets. That's to me Giant Stadium. The Jets just kind of play there.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
That's fair. Yeah.
That's just the way it is. Like, dude, they should have stayed at that soccer stadium. That soccer stadium was awesome. Smaller fans, closer to the field. I know it's not up to the standards, but Chargers, they got a great coach. I watched a little bit of the other day. I really like the coach. I just think he's in a bad situation. So I really hope the best.
Oh, Anthony Lynn?
Yeah.
Yeah, he had COVID and everything. I mean, I think we already knew that. Head coach Doug Peterson of the Philly Eagles right now has it. So, yeah, it's gonna go around. Some people are gonna get it, but we'll see, man. We'll see, man. Well,
we'll see.
You know where you can reach us on Twitter, Facebook, I almost said LinkedIn. I got my work laptop out. I'm sorry, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, Spotify, Apple iTunes, pretty much everywhere. Instagram. Just look up the Ricky Williams trilogy. You can find us. We're the only Ricky Williams trilogy in the world, named after the great Ricky Williams, the absolute GOAT of running backs in college football as well as the NFL. Check us out. Give us a like. Give us a subscribe and share the shit out of us. And maybe you'll be lucky enough to win a few stickers that I have in my office here. So to the first 15 to 20 shares, I'll give you a sticker, man.
People. We got
That's right. That's right. The t-shirts are on the way, so we're gonna get it going real soon here. Hopefully, we'll be on Twitch soon. I just need to get a makeup artist in here to fix me up. But with that being said, Duke, it was a pleasure. I wish I got to see Beezy tonight, but I understand. We're all adults here. We're all just trying to make this work. So, you know, I was glad to get on with you tonight, and I believe there's one more thing we have to say, and thank God we don't have to say it with the Chiefs fan.
Oh no, thank God. Go Titans, man.
Go Patriots, man. Everyone have a good week. We'll see football soon.